boards, win little one-on-one battles. The Hawks will play you man-on-man in their own zone. So if you can win a one-on-one battle, you can get open and away from people. It's not a zone. Olczyk hauled down Nieuwendyk. I thought he should have had a penalty perhaps on the earlier one when Nieuwendyk grabbed that Verbeek rebound. Some chemistry going on with that trio.
Jocelyn Thibault-Razor is stretching in front of the Chicago Blackhawk bench. Is it an equipment problem or something else?
He's not stretching. He's just getting his skate fixed.
Okay.
Sometimes as a goaltender, you'll kick the post. You'll get your foot up and you'll kick the post and it'll knock the edge off of your skate. And then when you go to push off, there's no edge there. And it's just like there's nothing going on down there. So you get your edge put back on with a little stone by the trainer.
He's back. Stars go to work on the power play. Sador at the left point to Zubov at the right. Across Hall, one-timer, he scores!
My God.
Oh, jeez. I mean, forget about it. Just forget about it. 1-0 Dallas.
I don't care if Jocelyn Thibault sharpened his skate with a laser. He's not going to get across on that one. What a cannonading howitzer that one was. That's right in the wheelhouse. Moves across the point, and then Hall over on his side just waits, accepts. There's a big gap between the penalty killers of the Hawks, between their defensemen and their forwards, and that stick was almost bent right in half and sprung off it and past Thibault.
Hall's 24th of the season from Zubov and Sador, the point men on the power play at 4:27. Dallas is 1 for 1. They quickly strike. It's 1-0. Here comes Botterill on his way against Chelios. The Hawk captain jammed him. Ludwig down to play it into the corner to Marshall. Grabs a hold of Doug Zamolik, the former Star. Moreau, good poke ahead. Here comes Kilger and White 2-on-1. They're in the zone to White, and the pass just out of his reach.
Chambers got back too. Good defensive play. He was up out of position, but he hustled to get back.
Marshall attacking into the Chicago zone, trying to go around Allison, but he couldn't get past him. Ethan Morrow again along the near boards, whisks it out. Hatcher at his line to Matvichuk. Back to Darien, ahead to Lettinen. Now to Modano. Here he comes at center. Twists away. Lettinen plays it down the boards. White throws it there, but right to Modano into the slot. Picked off by Simpson. He had Hall cruising. Stolen again. Hall dumps it deep. Lettinen will go in after it with Manson behind the Chicago goal. It's swept up to the near boards, and Bob Probert has his stick on it. Modano, it's Modano. He's yanked down by Allison. And not much question about that.
Well, there's some question in the mind of Jamie Allison, who I think thinks in his mind that he may have got a stick on him, but he certainly didn't do that much to him. Just as they were coming back up the ice, he put a weak hook on him, and Modano just fell down. So he sold that one.
Yes, he did.
Well, that goal by Brett Hall, he's now cruising towards 30 on the season. He leads the team with 11 now power play goals. How about the whip on that stick? He hit the puck a good foot in front of the puck and then just bang. It just leaps off there. Flex point, isn't that what they call that? The bottom, it's like in a golf club. You get that club head speed, it comes around, and it's that shoulder turn and everything that brings you the 300-yard drive. Well, it's the same thing with that. Obstruction hooking to Allison.
You know, that would be something that the physics classes in the high schools could study. You know, the way he moves into a puck, it's just unparalleled. Hatcher carrying it in. To Nieuwendyk, back out on top to Chambers. He's at the right point, gives it to Nieuwendyk. Over to Hatcher, top of the left circle. Wrist shot, tip, save, Thibault, rebound! Verbeek slammed it, I think, off Thibault and wide.
That was a great sequence of saves by Thibault. Had to deal with traffic in front, and then both toes booted out pucks.
Shots are 7-2 in favor of the Stars. We're early in the first. Dallas leads at 1-0 on Brett Hull's 24th goal of the season, and they're on the power play again. Darian Hatcher having some trouble in his own zone. He'll give it to Zubov. Draws two Hawks, flings it ahead. Langenbrunner in front of the Dallas bench. Got it off Nelson Emerson, but right to Amani, who from center swipes it back in. The Dallas power play came into the game second in the NHL at 21% against the 25th ranked penalty killers of the Hawks. Stars carry it in, and Lettinen is going to be called for interference, I think.
You're right. Dougie Zmolik was trying to stand up at the blue line, and they're going to say that Jere Lehtinen impeded where he was going. So as Zmolik backed up, Lehtinen tried to come across the blue line, and Zmolik may have peeked over his shoulder and realized that and then got the even up call, or he might have just got blindsided and bumped from behind. Dangerous for Zmolik, who was doubtful for tonight's game because of a concussion, but he's gotten himself back into the lineup. So Lehtinen continues to pick up these penalties. He's one of the most gracious players in the NHL and a perennial, I think, Lady Byng candidate as the most gentlemanly player in the NHL, but he's picking up a lot of PIMs lately.
So we'll play 4-on-4 hockey for 49 more seconds, and then barring a future call that affects the manpower, the Hawks will go on a power play for about a minute. Here comes Laflamme cruising to center. The Hawks drive it in and winds around to Belfour's left in the corner. Modano battling. Daze picking it up behind the Stars net. Zubov taps it away from Zhamnov. Recovers it in the corner. Looked at Daze out front, but Hall stole it. Laflamme kept it in. Modano all over him. Dropped that. A shot. Rebound. They don't get it off. Belfour knocked it down. Daze couldn't get his stick on it. And here comes Zubov to Modano. Into the zone to Zubov. Right point to Modano in the circle. Defeated across the Hall. It's broken up by Laflamme. He'll give it to Chelios. Modano lurking in the Chicago zone. Chelios sure-handed. Hands it ahead to White. Hawks are back at full strength. They're on the power play for about a minute. Allison, the penalized player, went to the bench. Gilmore comes on. Reed shadows him to the corner. White plays it around behind to Amani. He's pinned to the glass by Matvichuk. Hatcher reaching in there. Puck squirts loose to Gilmore. Back on top they go to Zmolik at the left point. A wrist shot blocked by Hatcher. He'll feed it to Keane, who delayed and then popped it up over Manson and deep. Chicago Blackhawks on the power play this season, 13th at 15.4%. That's the middle of the pack. And they're offside as they attack Amani. Preceded Gilmore across the line.
Amani, usually you can find him wherever he is on the ice, but not anymore. He cut his hair. He just looked for the hair, and he was the guy that got in a hair ahead of things on the right wing side. Well, the best save of the game for Eddie Belfour came just moments ago in front of the net. Belfour had to deal with some traffic. He had big Daze right off the lip of the crease. Daze just sort of spun himself right out of position to get a rebound chance off. Daze's a big boy, and that's a large structure at 6'6", 220. He should be just putting the binders on and stopping right in front of the net. Belfour's happy he didn't.
Hawks win the draw at center. Chelios fans on it. Modano steals it. Here he comes, short-handed. Cutting at Laflamme. Backhand shot, saved. Thibault. Hall was following the play, but Chelios swept it aside. Here come the Hawks. Morrow at center. Crashed into Chambers. Got it deep, but Modano using the boards. Got it to the point. High slot Kilger. Wrist shot. Save. Olchuk couldn't get to the rebound. And it's stolen by Chambers. Lehtinen is on. And here come the Stars. A pass ahead to Lehtinen. Drops it for Hall. He'll put it into the right wing corner. Chelios played it away from Modano out to Olchuk. Cutting to his left to the Dallas line. Surrounded by the Stars. He lost it.
Sean Chambers using the whole ice. He was the guy that broke up the play in his own zone by blocking Kilger's shot, then leaped up with a rush.
Lehtinen fired from long range. Thibault kicked it out. Probert moved it ahead to center. Hatcher has it there. Into the middle. No icing here. Thibault will set it up for Manson. Here's Zhamnov. Moving ahead with speed to center. Bouncing it past Belfour's goal. Eddie crept out, but not far enough, and Matvichuk touches up for icing. Brett Hull's 24th has the Stars up 1-0 on the Dallas Stars Hockey Network.
Flying to Austin on business?
If you got the money, I've got the time. 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 I've got the time.
With up to 14 flights a day to Austin, flying Southwest Airlines is like having your own company plane.
I see lazy afternoons. I see lingering sunsets. I see a couple rediscovering.
When you bring your financial resources together into a Chase relationship, you'll find it's easier to invest your money with people you already know.
I see a relationship in full bloom. I am Chase, Texas.
Halfway through the first period, Stars up 1-0. The Hawks had one shot on that last power play, but so did the Dallas Stars. It came off a miscue by Chelios right at center ice as he whiffed on a clearing attempt or a dump in, and then Modano took over and just meandered his way through the Chicago defense and got a pretty good backhand opportunity off on Thibault. He had no shots on Wednesday night, neither did Hull, and Hull is the goal scorer here on his first shot.
Hawks now attack. They're in and onside. Jamnov tried to slip it to Amani. The play broken up. Grant Marshall along the boards with Probert. Probert rolled it behind the Dallas net. Sador keeping it away from Jamnov. Kicked it to the corner. Probert after it. Bob Probert has 4 points his last 3 games. On a bit of a tear, the big guy. Here's Sador back of the Dallas net. He shot it off the glass and ahead to center. Probert picks it off. He's in, cutting to his left, drops it into the slot for Amani. Back covering is Marshall, and Belfort creeps out to put his glove on top of the puck, on top of his crease.
Well, pretty good play by the big-bodied Probert to slip it in there. You can use Amani's speed. He's going to come late. He's one of the fastest skaters in the NHL. His next goal will be his 30th. He's stuck 30 in each of the last 3 seasons, 5 times total in his career, which started off with the Rangers in New York. The only full season in the NHL that he failed to hit that plateau was the season he was traded to Chicago from the Rangers. He was well below it that year. And there, again, if you believe what's in print, there's a lot of friction going on in Chicago between he and head coach Dirk Graham. Not a happy time.
Leads the Hawks in scoring. He's the only player with 20 or more goals. Shot from the face-off right into Ed Belfour's belly. And Eddie the Eagle, the former Hawk, hangs on.
Well, he played with Dirk Graham, the coach of the Hawks, and to steal a line from Slapshot, it has been a very trying rookie season behind the bench for him. A lot of only 16 wins in the first 57 games and a personnel upheaval. There have been numerous trades. They've used 35 players this year with the Blackhawks.
Dirk Graham is the 31st coach in the history of the Hawks. 11-year playing career. First 4.5 was with the Stars in Minnesota. Finished it up with Chicago. Stars get the puck. Here comes Neuendijk sprinting to the Hawk line, stopping at the right point to Hatcher in the slot, cutting to his left. Wrist shot. Blocked in front. I think Brown or Reed got a leg on it. Behind the Chicago goal, the battle for the puck as members of both teams scrap for it there. White kicks it to the far side, but right to Severin. They hit it to Reed. He hands it off for Keane. Centering pass. Ricocheted, but Severin couldn't get after it. He twists with Morrow along the near side. The Hawks play it to the far boards. Kilger in pursuit. He nudges it to center ice.
Stars are just quick from point A to point B. Wherever they have to be, they're getting there first.
Hatcher bringing it in, right wing side. Chelios picking it up. Stars after it. Gilmore's able to get it out. Modano takes it away at center, drops it back to Chambers in the Dallas zone. He'll whip it around behind. Hall coming back. Modano tied up with Emerson back behind the Dallas net as the puck now flung to the Hawk line. Doug Zamolik sped it forward. And the puck shot into the Stars bench and out of play. 8:06 remains in the first period. The Stars lead it 1-0 on the Dallas Stars Hockey Network.
These are Cobalt tools, the finest mechanics tools you can buy in any store. They've got contoured handles for a better grip. And the K-drive that grabs fasteners on the sides, not the corners, which means more torque, less rounding, and less slippage. So Cobalt tools can stand up to anything. From where I'm standing, that's a very good thing. Cobalt, setting the standard in mechanics tools. Made in the USA and guaranteed forever. At Lowe's Home Improvement Warehouse and online.
Want plenty of horses plus plenty of room? Then ride off in a Dodge Ram quad cab.
For making power by the ton, Dodge Ram is the one. At the Texas truck stop, the new Dodge.
Dodge Rams are overall America's most powerful line of full-size pickups. The longest lasting, too. Plus, Ram quad cabs were the first to offer 4 doors. Just imagine the possibilities that opens up.
Texas truck stop, new Dodge.
Dallas Stars Hockey is brought to you in part by Dodge.
Take your kids to Hot Dogs and Hockey Pucks tomorrow afternoon at Reunion Arena from 2:30 to 5:30. Kids 14 and under will get to play interactive games and meet Stars players. Admission is free. For more information, call 214-GO-STARS. And again, thanks to the good folks at Minyard Food Stores, Carnival, and Sack and Save.
Well, that'll be fun.
Yes.
Not much fun going on here right now. The Bull crew's out there right now trying to repair the glass just in behind Eddie Belfour to his left. They had some problems with it here the other night, too. They could use a new arena around here.
This one's falling apart, completely apart.
Well, Ken Hitchcock's team is not falling apart. They're smoking along right now. And he believes in a lot of John Wooden philosophies. John Wooden, the legendary basketball coach at UCLA. And a couple of things in particular. And perfection of small details have to be done all the time, and they make for big things happening. And you know, as much as he can be a bear in that regard and staying on people, it's important to do that. And he loves his hockey clubs to be quick but don't hurry. Same thing Wooden was into with his basketball teams. And there is no substitute for hard work and careful planning. And they are amongst the hardest working teams in the league, and at times the hardest working team in the NHL. And I don't think they're better prepared. I don't think there's a better prepared team than the Stars, and that's Dallas's coaching staff that gets them ready for it. Doug Jarvis, Ken Hitchcock, and Rick Wilson, who almost got dinged with a puck on the bench moments ago.
Well, the Stars were ready for this one tonight. They jumped out early to an early lead. That bodes well for them and not great for the Hawks, as you might expect. The Stars have lost just 3 of 32 games when scoring first. They have 24 wins. The Hawks have won just 4 of 33 when the opponent has scored first. Well, we're back. Gilmore took it away from Modano on the draw at center. Zamolik scampers ahead, rattles it in off the glass. Belfour moving it to Sador off to his left. He uses the boards to get it to the point, but not out. Chelios bounces it to Gilmore. A weak backhand shot, sticked aside. Puck floating now, and Letnin's able to poke it out. Simpson back in a hurry to get it. The boards to Gilmore. It's it back to Chelios. Ahead to Emerson, right wing at center. It went off a Dallas glove on the bench, and thus the whistle blows.
Well, the 2 assists on the Hull goal, the only goal of the hockey game so far, were picked up by the 2 defensemen that man the points on the power play most of the time, Sergei Zubov and Daryl Sador. Zubov and Sador have combined heading into this game for only a goal and 5 assists in the last 9 games. They hadn't been picking up the points as freely as earlier in the year. Sergei Zubov doesn't have the same numbers going on this year as he did last season, and Sador had that great start, and he slowed down a little bit too. But believe you me, other teams read what's going on here in Dallas and realize if you can take those 2 out of their comfort zone, you have a chance to win. If you don't, you probably won't.
So they have been a real focus, especially on the power play. Teams out, challenging them right away. The Hawks clear the puck to center ice. Sean Chambers has it there. Bounces ahead. Manson arming it across the Dallas line. Chambers picking it up. Head to Verbeek. Left wing pass at center for Langenbrunner. Drops to Ludwig inadvertently. Ludwig chips it in. Allison hit by Verbeek along the left wing boards. Verbeek went down. And the puck floated deep into the Dallas zone again as both teams want to change. Here comes Matvichuk skating ahead. Amani forces him back. Carefully across to Hatcher. Moving it ahead. Botterill is hammered by Brown. He went halfway into the Dallas bench. And a whistle stops play.
Well, 2 large bodies colliding that time. Big Brad Brown just read the pass coming out of the Stars zone beautifully and then took a step. That push up into the neutral zone. I mean, Brown's a defenseman. He was over center ice right at the Stars bench is where he collided with Jason Botterill. You mentioned him up from Kalamazoo, their captain. 21 points in 39 games, but only 8 goals for him. He was a goal scorer at Michigan. Still perhaps trying to find out what he's going to be as a pro. You know, I mean, at Michigan, he had 104 goals in 150 games. And he was a scoring star in the NCAA. And sometimes it takes big bodies a little while longer to realize what they have to do or what they can do or what they're expected to do at this level. And I don't think anybody questions his talent. He comes from good stock. He's a likable young guy, but what's he going to be? Is he going to be a checker? He's fought more than he scored at this level so far. I think he has 14 penalty minutes in the first 7 games that he's played with Dallas. More banging and clanging here at Reunion. They have problems all over the place. I don't think anything was in here last night, was it?
I'm not sure. Was the figure skating show here? Well, we'll think about it for a moment. Grease on ice last night, they're telling us. We'll take a break.
They greased the skids.
We'll be back like lightning on the Dallas Stars Hockey Network.
Really? It's go time.
Hey. That creepy mouse with the goggles is back in my apartment.
Really?
Can I hang here?
Absolutely.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
I used to be a car racer.
Oh, wow.
Play the Blockbuster Trip-A-Day giveaway today. Thousands have won, but there are still lots of great prizes left, but they're going fast. So get to Blockbuster today, because every game piece is a winner, and tomorrow you might find yourself in with the in crowd.
Rent Snake Eyes tonight and go home happy. Watch carefully as a conspiracy unfolds before your very eyes, making you an eyewitness.
There are 14,000 eyewitnesses!
Snake Eyes, rated R, guaranteed to be there at Blockbuster Video.
Back at Reunion Arena, they have effected the necessary repairs. We're back to play. The Stars lead the game 1-0 on Brett Hull's 24th goal of the season. A wicked one-timer on the power play, like you read about. Stars hunt the puck down in the Chicago zone. Herkus heading to the goal. He centered it. No one was off to his left to pick up the pass. And Amani scurries it ahead. Left wing to Probert. Cutting into the Dallas zone. Feeds it down the right wing side. Matt Tkachuk tried to clear it. He ducked a hit. There's a down Hawk. I think it's Amani. In the Dallas zone, and then at center ice.
There's some big tough boys out there on both sides. A pair of number 2s, Brown and Hatcher, rated center ice. Probert's out there. The original hit was by Matvechuk on the far boards to the left of Belfour, and it is Amani who's down, and I'm not sure exactly what he's hurt. They continue to mill about at center ice and talk with one another. Well, Matvechuk, he was banging bodies the other night, and he continued to do it again this evening, right along the far boards. I think it might have been partially self-inflicted by the Chicago winger. Matvechuk just got out of the way. It was like the Olay. And I think Amani went with the top of his noggin into the glass. Good. Those are nasty. And I think he just knocked himself cuckoo.
He's getting up. Matvechuk, as we mentioned, been on a hit tear. He led the team with 7 hits in the win against Florida. Dallas had 20 total that night, accounting for fully a third of it.
Well, that's his role with this club, and I think he can be better. I think a lot of people think that he can be better offensively or more productive anyway, but he's content to concentrate on his own end first right now. Amani's up and okay, it appears, and has made his way back to the Chicago bench. So we have had a stuttery start to this one. The Stars are up 1-0, just over 6 minutes remaining in the first period, and we've had a trio of lengthy stoppages, 2 for the building and 1 for Tony Amani's head.
Amani's on the Hawk bench. Face off at center, controlled by the Hawks. Brown, the boards, rolls to the Dallas line. Sador has it there to Zubov. Modano trio up front. Here comes Sador, left wing at center, wristing it in. Thibault getting back to cut most of it off. Played it off Hall to the near corner. Lettinen to Hall back of the net. Centering from Modano. That's knocked away. And Morrow will start it off for the Chicago Blackhawk attack. Busted up at the Dallas line. Lettinen bringing it the other way. He'll toss it deep. Hall in pursuit along the right wing boards. Modano will pick it up to Lettinen. The Hall in the right wing corner. He'll leave it along the boards for Lettinen again. Into the slot. Hall got a one-timer out, but wide. Sador put it behind the net. Modano hit by Kilger. Lost the puck, and here comes Doug Zamolik. Scampering forward. Kilger way in ahead. Wanted a pass from Zamolik. It never came. And an offside call against Chicago.
Well, you can see how things can get messed up in the Chicago zone. If you have more will, more jump, and you move things around a little bit offensively against them, they play man-on-man. So you'll have defensemen come way up in the high slot area and top of the circle almost to the blue line to take one guy, and then you have man-on-man. It's just man-on-man all over the place. So if you beat your man, then you can get wide open. And that's how Brett Hall got out to the top and got that shot off.
Center ice, Zamolik hands it to Chelios. He'll rattle it in. Gilmore tried to take it away, but Chambers picks it off. Here come the Stars. Langenbrunner tried to hit Neuendijk at the Chicago line. It's broken up. Gilmore coming the other way, bouncing it in right to Belfour. He releases for Ludwig, who was unsure about the play. The Dallas zone, the Hawks pick it up. Emerson's drive blocked by Ludwig. Langenbrunner clearing, not out. Simpson over skating. Jamie will get another opportunity, and he'll skate it forward. Stars move it ahead. Langenbrunner from center ice. Thibault kicks it to the corner to his right. Chelios there to pick it up ahead of all others. Behind is Zamolik, and here comes Gilmore. Left wing at center, caught by Neuendijk. Both these lines need changing, so Gilmore dumps it in. 4:15 remaining in the first period. Dallas has a 1-0 lead. Ludwig comes to center, rips it down the boards. And icing here. I thought Thibault came out, but apparently not. Icing against the Dallas Stars. Well, folks, you can shake the ice just by stopping in at Wendy's. When you biggie size your combo meal, you'll receive a free Dallas Stars shaker, courtesy of the good folks at Wendy's.
This game right now, you feel like you'd like to reach down there and shake it up a little bit. It started with a lot of promise in the opening couple of minutes, and mainly because of the energetic first shift out of Neuendijk's line, but I think these stoppages in play have slowed things down.
The building repairs haven't helped the pace. The shot got through. Belfour finds it. And the Eagle has landed on top of the puck.
Well, Dave Reed was the guy out there taking that face off. And as a guy who hasn't played center at all this year, he lost it pretty clean to Eddie Olczyk. And Manson's a guy who can drill it from the point. He's got one of the hardest shots in the league. You don't hear a lot about him because he doesn't score all that much like the McGinnises and people like that, but it leaps off his stick, and it came off his twig from the right point all the way through to Belfour, and he hung on to the rebound, and they'll bring somebody else out to take this draw.
It's Joe Neuendijk. Olczyk beat him. Manson hurries it around. Olczyk centering. Neuendijk takes it to safety. Flings it up the near side. Daze keeping it in for the Hawks. LaRue in pursuit. Crashes in with Severin. Stepped away from Hatcher. Olczyk in the right wing corner to Daze, but it's off his stick into center. It drifts back into the Chicago zone. Easy for me to say. Hatcher moving it in to Severin. A bump a pass across. It was blocked. The Hawks counterattack. Olczyk is in. Stumbled as he attacked. Matvechuk got it the other way to Severin from long range. His drive blocked following the play. Reed can't get the shot away. Manson had him in check. Christian Laflamme for Chicago stepping out, using the boards, clearing it to the Dallas line. Daryl Sador is in position, guiding it ahead. Here's Grant Marshall in, but alone. Cutting around Laflamme, a shot! Toe save, Thibault!
Walked right around Laflamme. Good save by the Hawk netminder.
Good move by Marshall to get to the goal. Marshall again to Herkus behind the net. Centering for Botterill. Trying to pivot around on Manson, but he couldn't find the handle. Amani's back on the ice for the Hawks. He'll fling it in. Belfour well out of his goal. Whips it up and down the ice, but not far enough for icing. Shots in the first period, 10-7 in favor of Dallas. Lettinen busted through a pair of Hawks at center ice. But Chicago found the puck. Zubov steals it back to Hall. He's in, feeds it toward the goal. Thibault came out as Modano came in on top of him, and Modano is pushed by Probert along the near boards, and now a battle ensues.
It's always Daryl Sador who comes roaring in and takes on whoever. And right now he's trading punches with Bob Probert, and now Probert has a grip on his helmet. Well, that's sticking up for your teammate, and both of those guys were doing that. First, Probert came over and gave a little bump to Modano because Modano, he felt, had poked at Thibault when it was obvious the Blackhawk netminder was going to hang on to the puck. And then Sador came roaring in to stick up for Modano, and now it's looking a lot like the Stars and the Hawks.
Yeah, it's fun. Big Bob Probert on his way to the penalty box, but Sador is right there. Daryl Sador doesn't care how big a guy is, doesn't care what kind of a reputation he has. If somebody needs to be stuck up for, that's what Daryl Sador does.
He's looking over, shaking his head. There aren't too many guys. I mean, you look at the top scoring defensemen in the NHL right now, and you read down the list. How many
Larry
guys?
Murphy.
I mean, how many guys are going to jump in on Bob Probert? Olsen, Desjardins, Larry Murphy, McGinnis, Leach. There's not an awful lot of them that would do it, but he always seems to do that. It all came because Modano came in. The puck was just dribbling in towards Thibault, and harmlessly he took a little hack at his hands with one hand, and that drew the ire of Probert.
Well, minor penalties. Sador of the Stars, Probert for the Hawks. We'll skate 4-on-4. Modano and Hall. Zubov and Hatcher for Dallas. The Hawks have Chelios and Zamolik, Zhamnov and Amani. In the Chicago zone, Zhamnov gives it to Chelios, driving right up the middle of the ice. Cutting to his right, in front of the Stars bench, he'll pop it in. Belfour well out to get it. Good play to move it up the near side, but the Stars can't cash in on the pass. Amani stealing it, centering. It bounces right to Hall. Using the boards, gives it to Zubov. Overtaken at center ice. Zamolik will hand it back to Amani to Chelios in the Hawks zone.
Well, this is what they're experimenting with in the minors right now in overtime. They dropped down to this 4-on-4. There's a lot of talent. It started off this 4-on-4 set on both sides of the puck.
And a lot of open ice.
Not a lot of scoring chances, though, and I think that's what they want to develop out of this thing.
Here's Laflamme backhanding it in. Zubov will go get it behind the Dallas goal. 1:20 remains in the first period. Zubov, the pass to Lettinen. Here he comes with Neuendijk into the Chicago zone. Drops it. Neuendijk, left circle. Wrist shot off Laflamme into the stands over Jocelyn Thibault's left shoulder.
Well, we are about 1 minute and 9 seconds away from our first intermission, and a guy who's been going well for the Dallas Stars a little while. Jamie Langenbrunner will join me in the first intermission. Seems to be getting comfortable on that right side. They admittedly said that, you know, sticking with that position game in and game out and not playing one night or one shift on right wing and then left wing and then a little bit at center has helped him kind of understand what he can do and can't do, being a right shot on the left wing side.
Stars win this draw. Chambers hands it off to Matvichuk. Backhander got through. Thibault stretched. Made the routine look difficult. Final minute of play of the first period. Hawks try and feed it up the boards. Here's Brown. Ahead off Gilmore. Rolling into the Dallas zone right corner. Matvichuk after it there. Verbeek swooping in. Verbeek tried to tap it around behind. Daze with a steal. It hit the side of the net. Chambers trying to elude Gilmore's tenacious checking. Advancing to Neuendijk with Verbeek into the Hawk zone. The right wing boards. Verbeek will pick it up. Guarded by two Hawks. Gilmore pushes him out to the point. He maneuvers away. Gilmore stole it, but the Stars popped it right back as the minors have expired to both Probert and Sador. 15 seconds remaining in the period. Dallas controlling at their own line. It's Herkus feeding it ahead to Chambers. Stars play it across the line. Botterill hit Probert. Manson deals it around. Emerson hit by Botterill. And some banging going on as the first period comes to an end. Botterill has something to say to Jamie Allison inside the Hawk line. And I believe they'll be able to separate this.
Well, Botterill's announced his presence back in the Stars lineup again. He seems to have everybody in white. The Hawks out there mad at him right now. And this first period, the shot's fairly even at 11-7 in favor of the Stars, but you know, they have, I would say, a 2-to-1 advantage in quality scoring chances right now, and that puck may be bruised. That was not a pretty first period of play.
But Brett Hull's goal, a Hollitzer from the circle to the right of Jocelyn Thibault, have the Stars on top of the Hawks. It's 1-0 Dallas after one. When we come back, Darrell Ray will visit with the very popular Jeremy Langenbrunner when we continue on the Dallas Stars Hockey Network.
Yeah, I'll be leaving on the 18th, sometime in the morning, back on the 21st. Then what's the last flight out? Oh, what's the one before that? Perfect. Yeah, go ahead and book that one.
You know, Dad, this isn't brain surgery.
Now Southwest Airlines gives you the freedom to plan and purchase your flight online. It's so easy, even a grown-up can do it.
Now all you need is the confirmation number. Can I go play now?
You are now free to move about the country.
Are you lonesome tonight? How does it feel? Out there all alone?
Hello?
So near.
My whole day has been like this.
And yet, so far away. Dr. Pepper's the taste.
He's so happy.
No one else can take his place. And
Hey, I
that's
know that
why
guy.
you're lonesome tonight.
Well, Brett Hull's 11th power play goal of the season has the Dallas Stars up 1-0 over the Chicago Blackhawks in the first intermission. This first intermission interview is brought to you by Chase, Texas. The right relationship is everything. Welcome back to Reunion Arena, everyone. Darrell Ray upstairs here. Well, Jamie Langenbrunner has been helping his teammates with helpers this season. He's third on the Dallas Stars right now in assists. He joins us from downstairs outside the Stars dressing room. And Jamie, I want to start off by having you hark back a little bit. It was almost a year to the day that you were helping your wife bring your young daughter into the world, and you just completed a tour of duty with Team USA at the Olympics. I have to say you probably a little bit more settled a year now. Yes?
Oh, definitely. You know, last year was a little hectic schedule with the end of the Olympics and getting back and having Lane be born, but it was a great time. But now we're a little more settled and enjoying it this way.
Well, speaking of settled, it seems like your line has settled in a little bit with Pat Verbeek on the right wing side and Joe Nieuwendyk in the middle. How do you see your role on that line right now?
Well, I think my role is kind of the same no matter who I'm playing with. I got to go out there and work hard and dig in the corners, get some loose pucks, and try setting those two guys up. You know, I think they got about 900 goals between the two of them. So anytime I can get it to them, it's usually got a better chance of getting the net.
You guys had a great start to this thing again tonight. You had the Hawks pinned in their own zone in the opening couple of minutes, and then the game seemed to really slow down. There were a couple of problems with the glass here at Reunion Arena. Did it seem that way at ice level too?
Yeah, it seems like we got out there quick on those first two and got a lot of opportunities, and then we didn't find the ice again the rest of the period, I don't think. You know, it was kind of maybe a penalty here and then, the problems or whatever, and then we didn't kind of get out there again, but hopefully here we'll get her going again in the second period.
Well, Jamie, Little Lane is one tomorrow, and as you know, all the greats were born in February.
Well, definitely one great is. I don't know about all of them.
Thanks for doing this. We'll let you get back to the room.
All right, Razor, thank you.
That's Jamie Langenbrunner. For being our guest, Jamie receives a gift certificate from Lombardo Custom Apparel. Plenty more to come from Reunion Arena in just a moment. Ralph Strangis is up next. The Stars are up on the Hawks after 1-0 on the Dallas Stars Hockey Network.
Come on. Come on, he's taking too long. I should have gone.
Yeah, he should have gone, man. He should have gone.
Stow it. He's coming, and he's got him.
This is all I could get.
You did good, Billy. You did real good.
Yeah, the boy should have planted that tree hours ago.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light.
Can I go now?
No.
On grand opening day, everything's got to be right.
Great first impression. That's what keeps my business growing.
That's why I depend on fast signs.
Professionals who offer me expert advice on promoting my business.
The right colors, type styles, and borders to attract my customers' attention.
Signs that inform, direct, and sell.
Their state-of-the-art computer design gets it right the first time.
For the right sign every time, go to the sign experts.
Quality signs, done right, on time, fast signs.
Back at Reunion Arena in Dallas, Texas, the Stars lead the Chicago Blackhawks 1-0 after one period of play. Tonight's Minyard's Food Store trivia question: who was the last player to score a goal at historic Maple Leaf Gardens? We'll give you a hint. The Hawks were the visitors that night. And welcome back to Dallas Stars Hockey. I'm Ralph Strangis. Tonight on the NHL Bud Light Update, there's a couple of items to tell you about. He's all about giving, isn't he? And Sergei Fedorov announced today he will contribute his entire 1998-99 salary of $2 million to endow a newly created foundation in his name. J.J. Daniel, the high-scoring Phoenix Coyote defenseman, will be sidelined 7 to 10 days with a right shoulder strain. Lots of action last night in Southwestern Bell Metroplex High School hockey. Let's check out the scoreboard as we move to the Southwestern Bell Metroplex High School Hockey Spotlight. Here are the finals. Richland beat Irving 7-2. It was Coppell all over Colleyville. 7-1 the final there. South Lake Carroll shut out Louisville 2-0. Plano West edged McKinney 3-2. Carrollton Farmers Branch and Denton in a battle, 6-5 Denton at the wire. Episcopal 6-1 over Allen. Plano blasting W.T. White 14-0. Plano East also a winner, 5-1 over the Colony. Southwestern Bell reminds you to sign up for the best internet access. Dial 1-800-SWB-INET. Shall we answer the trivia question? Who had the honor of scoring the final goal at Maple Leaf Gardens? Was it Tony Amani or Doug Gilmore, or what other high-scoring Hawk? Bob Probert will forever live in infamy as the guy who scored the last goal there. 1-0 Stars on the Dallas Stars Hockey Network.
That was interesting.
The all-new Volkswagen Jetta. Sometimes everything just comes together.
They have substance, integrity. They're the individual pieces that contribute to a greater good, making lives less worrisome, futures more secure. They are the agents of New York life. Their humanity is the stone with which this company was built. They are why New York Life is the company you keep.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Is it the Chrysler Sebring LXI Coupe or the Chrysler Sebring Limited Convertible? Multi-valve V6, speed-sensitive steering, room for you and 3 friends, and a luxurious leather-trimmed interior. Now, the choice is yours. Get $1,000 cash allowance on the Sebring Coupe and Sebring Convertible. Chrysler, engineered to be great cars.
Get into your North Texas Chrysler and Plymouth dealer. New, different, that's us.
Zero to your heart in 1 second flat. The Audi A6.
Brett Hall ripped one past Jocelyn Thibault. The Stars have a 1-0 lead. What's going on elsewhere, you ask? Let's check the Southwest Airlines out-of-town scoreboard. Darryl, Phoenix and Tampa Bay are tied at 1-1, an important stretch of games for the Coyotes.
Not that important for Tampa Bay, though, as I think they're looking on the outside, looking in.
Buffalo 2, San Jose 1. Dominic Hasek out in the game with a groin strain. They are in the third period. The Rangers 4, the Pittsburgh Penguins nothing in the third.
Penguins had their winning streak snapped the other night.
Detroit leads New Jersey 3-1. The Wings have won 5 in a row.